Analine, Peragalo never, Analine, Peragalo never, Anaelo, Malono, Nasanyo, Malono, Nasanyo, Monge by Casamio, Monge by Casamio, Monge by Casamio. When the near wing and one, when the near wing and one, what a good number again, Lord, never one, what a number again, Lord, never I love my young, I love my I love a minima. Abalo never, Abalay, Abalo never, Abalay, Abalo never, Abalay. You're Lomberna, you're Lomberna, Malo never, Abalay, Malo never, Abalay,
Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events, such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, anniversaries, sports, birthdays, baby showers, religious activities, funerals, and many more. Take your phone right now and call any of the following numbers: 682-433-8802, 267-648-6089, 484-786-3337, or 916-533-2048. Our customer service representatives are waiting to take your calls and give you the needed assistance. It is LPR, the home of excellent media services and your friends in business.
Good event. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Alfonso Z. and Salt of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. We want to welcome you in this edition post-independent conversation where you thought, you think, and we can have that conversation right here on this network. We intend not to leave no one behind. We want to say happy belated. Mr. Morgan is joining us. Aloysius Flomo is in the house. Mr. George Duet, Maria Mand Bimba is here. Hey, Bill, what's up, my man? Long time. What's going on? Hina is here. John, my man, you told me you're going to send my 26. Don't tell me you finished taking by now, so the 26 go. So you're going to set it here. We want to welcome all of you here. Catherine Johnson is here. Jerome Telly Gow, money man, money maker. He makes the money. So Mr. Gow is here. Thank you so much. Red Blissful Cha, George Ta, and all of you great guys. Catherine Benz, our man from neighboring La Côte d'Ivoire, is the LPR Africa Bureau Chief based in Abidjan. Good evening, good morning from to your end here. Just a little time, almost 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ambrose is here. Atta is here. Listerine Pay is here. We want to welcome Blessing Johnson is here. Flomo, let's have the conversation going. I am Alfonso Zian Salt of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on your location. We want to welcome you to this post-independence conversation. So right here on the Diaspora Informative News outlet, Liberia Public Radio, I'm Alfonso Zian. So right here, team controls here, very beautiful Sunday evening right here from the East Coast, wherever you are. We say thank you for joining us, and we are happy that this day came. It was celebrated cross country. We want to look at that, the blistering and firing speech by the orator of the day inside Liberia. Some of the things that happens outside of Liberia, the USA, and other parts of the world. We say thank you so much. We're going to take a conversation and all of those here. And by the way, those who promised to give my 26, I'm still receiving it. Okay. It better late than never. I'm still receiving the 26. Okay, so you know, just give that. I'm still waiting for it. I will be right back. There you have it. That's a little break there, and this is what we do right here on LPR. Time check is 7:59 Eastern Standard Time right here on the Diaspora Informative News outlet like Republic Radio and Lpr-Tv. How was it 26, by the way? Thank God the phone calls will go down on 26, on 27. No flare day. Flare day, if you want to have your flare day stuff, go and have a parade. Do not call for flare day gift. Every holidays has some sort of gift. No, that is unacceptable. Flare day, put on your uniform, go to your school, be a high school, junior high school, and do some parade. Okay, let's take this break, and I will be right back as we try to get things fixed here this evening, and I will be right back here with you. Just bear with me. I'll be right back.
Hello, listeners. This is Mazola, the lover boy. I'd like to invite you to this exciting program. It is called Dancing for Jesus. It is intended to play beautiful, inspirational music to help you turn your life to God. Join me on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is our way of showing appreciation to God for the good things He has done for us and continue to do. Don't miss this opportunity. Join Mazola Gizi on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the program Dancing for Jesus. Please be there because I will be here to rock it up for you.
Man, to the lover boy Mazola Gizi, and probably to our team in Liberia. The cover was just extensive inside Liberia, other parts of the country, right here in the US, in Philadelphia, to Delaware suburbs, and right here in the ocean state of Rhode Island. I thought we were all on the wheel, but what have we learned? Now the 26th is over. We listened to all of the speakers, orators, and whatever programs, a good different program took place in our various states outside of USA, other parts of the world, Liberia. So what is the lesson now? What next? It's just like a summertime, this big day comes, we all come together, we in a call, and then after it, then hell break loose, and everybody go do whatever you want to do. You don't listen to your friend, no respect, complete disrespect, unwilling to lack of political tolerance, and all of that then comes into play. So we only come together we only unify ourselves with specific programs, specific event. I think then it doesn't add up. All right. So we need to have this conversation. But what was really interesting, the firing speech from inside Liberia by the orator of the day. That was quite fascinating. Now the speech is being his job was to bring the message. What comes after the message is with those who in charge. What are they going to execute? What I will be perfected into action to what come next after that message? That's what we're going to know. Our own guy, who is also a community leader now, state representative right here in the Ocean State of Rhode Island, Nathan Bia, Representative Nathan Bia, was in the special remarks. Assistant Minister for something, I don't know. Let me see here. Visiting the USA, and officials of the government of Liberia. She also made a comment. Armo Charisman Pellan Reid also honored the invitations of the Liberian community right here in the state. But interestingly, my own community sense there were two different events. One side, the Liberian Americans Association Liberian community, then the Liberian community of Rhode Island. What is that? We saw the beautiful images coming from out of Minnesota and other places. But the divide is not just only within government. It's right on our feet. The dishonesty is right on our feet. We saw all these fabulous, big, huge programs went on all over. Some will do a follow-up, some will not. And that's where the dishonesty comes into play, because people pay monies in all these places of all of these events. They were coming to us, they were coming to you, they appeal to you, they're doing it in the name of the community, of the association, and you want to be part of the association. Whether loss or gain, it is the responsibilities of these people to come back to tell us what happens, the end point. They came to us when they needed a. After that, they should be able to come to us to tell us what went wrong, what happens, whether we gain, whether things fall below the belt. Some will not do it, some will do it. We're going to start pushing out now because we're going to be on wheel. So then these excuses going to come in. So I can't do no report now. After this thing, I call out 2-3 days. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do that. That is unacceptable. Leaders will hold national government officials accountable. We want them to be accountable. We want them to have that physical discipline. We want them to conduct themselves as a leader. Are we, as a people, as a nation, as well, or ordinary citizens, we do have a shared responsibility. Government is polarized, is divided, opposition divided, churches, they're the worst. Civil society, advocacy group, everybody. So it makes it very, 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 very difficult to find common solutions to these many problems that are facing us, because there's too much of disagreements, our inability to listen, to accommodate new suggestions, new ideas, to even create a situation where we can have this kind of sort of conversation is just not happening. We do not have that political tolerance, yet we want to hold people accountable. That's hypocrisy that's been disingenuous in our action. But it was quite interesting. I think the guy got in his Baptist move type of preaching, and that was quite, Liberia, that was the center of gravity when it came to this whole independence. We heard the president's executive clemency was issued, 70 some more inmates were granted. Executive clemency. I'm not sure whether it was extended outside of Monrovia There are a lot of people also loitering around in different prisons, correction facilities in the country. So I'm not sure whether there was any proxy from the president of an executive action that will extend that sort of clemency, or you got to be in jail in Monrovia in order to be a beneficiary of executive clemency. If that is the case, then something not right. It needs to be revisited. It has to be done proportionally cross-country. Free 5 here, free 2 here, free 3 here. Let other fields the executive hands of the presidency of the Republic of Liberia. And it's normal. It's a tradition. Usually it's on big events everywhere, worldwide, every country. The state executive always give clemency because some of these people, they don't even need to be there. But they are there because they do not have anybody to prosecute or follow up their cases. But I listened to our guy who said thank you to James Kabat of our PR congressional correspondent in Liberia. He covered the events from the Barclay Training Center to the official ceremonies at the Centennial Pavilion, where the orator mounted the podiums and giving a blistering speech. And people are scratching their head. People are going crazy. They are going nuts. Why this guy? You see, that's the problem with our people. They do not like to be told what they need to know. They always want to hear what they think they want to hear. And that is not right. And that's the difference. That sets all apart here too on this network. We don't usually tell you what you want to hear. We usually tell you what you need to hear. The only person that does that is the liberal progressive of this network, who is in the tendency of telling people what they want to hear. He tries to contravene the principles, the value of this network because of his liberal idea. And his guys, they are doing everything possible to liberalize this network. And that is unacceptable. And this is why we'll be here to counter with them. And that's why they don't like me. They don't like other folks who tell them what they need to know. They want us to sing their song. They want us to be in the same rhythm with them. If we have opposing or we have opinion, by the way, you yourself have the absolute right to disagree with us, to challenge what we say, to question what we say, to question our authenticity as well. In as much we question other people, we ourselves must be questioned. There's no one should be above the law. There's no any tax exempt in the 1 year. There's not no 501c3 and this one don't have the no. If you question people's authenticity, when you question people's leadership, when you question people's characters, when you question their moral, equally, proportionally, you yourself must be questioned as well. And that's the problem we have here in our society. And it's a very dicey one, very difficult to talk about, because sometimes when you want to put out a critical points, they have these people, they have their pro bono lawyers who will come and intercede for them and say, no, you're not supposed to even talk about it 1 year. You're jealous about it 1 year because they want to do this. They don't understand. They are still in the fantasy land. They are still in different society. They found themselves on different planet. And whatever the thing that is comfortable with them, it should be comfortable with me. It should be comfortable with you. That is unacceptable. That's not how society works. Let's dish it out and have an honest conversation about it. If you don't have the moral rectitude, if you don't have the what it takes to question other people's credibility, their character, so I don't know how that works. But again, it's Liberia. You know, each and everyone defend his or own alligator. They protect their own alligator, even to their detriment when it's about to take their life. They will still say they will see it as a pet that they will think they're going to play around. That's not the case. And this is why we are having all of these numerous problems we have in Liberia. We become selective in decision making. We become selective in applying the rules of law. We become selective in good governance. We give pass to other people, and other people are victimized. The real doer, then we let them to go, and those who do the little thing, We hammer them with the law. But again, the fingers are not equal. You see some finger then short, some of them skinny, some of them can't even do anything good. So that's how politicians are very calculative in getting things done. The church system is polarized. One goes to church here today, you go low, deacon leave, deacon 10, you're on a church to some kind of pour 2, 3, 4 people there. Everybody get a follower. Everybody get a disciple. So then just imagine about a country. See the disagreement within our own cycle, our inability, our unwillingness to accommodate some stringent measures or changes into what we do in our daily basis, then apply that to the government. So sometimes I feel bad when these people are fighting against corruption, dishonesty, because then we need to check ourselves. It's two-way street, you know? See how when you, in your late sectional organization or club work kind of meeting, when you try to raise a finger, when you try to have an opposing view to what the leader says, see how you would be harmonious, see how you would be, you'll be called nicknames even after the meeting. Why is he or she trying to prove? Who is she? She this, she that. But you have the courage to speak out what you believe, or maybe you just need a little clarification on what was said because you didn't get everything, and you have the right to seek those information. But you will have people sitting there who just agrees with everything that's been thrown out there. Even when it's bad, they will not take it, they will not review it, they will not digest it, they will not understand. But then they picture you to be the bad one, so you becomes the boogeyman. So if we have these sort of situations, just imagine how it looks like on the national front, where people special favor are being asked for. In the entrance of asking for those special favor, they are being rewarded heavily. It's not for nothing. Of course, you know that, I know it. But you see, people will have this here. So now the Independent Day is over. What next? What comes after the Independent Day? A country, a sovereign nation, 178 years old. What is our own commitment and moving forward this new age? Like you yourself, if you celebrate your birthday, you do make whatever vision for the next one, resolution, to be able to call it. So we individually, we're going to try to activate the line. You intend not to be here much longer here today. We all suffering from the post and aftermath because we're also last in the big time right here in the Ocean State. I'm going to be bringing you a little bit of excitement in one speech, but it's going to be a gradual process. But of course, what we want to do is to go inside the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. I listened to the orator, Dr. Don, and there were a few things that captured my imaginations. Down as the speech moved forward, it transitioned to different things, and instead of something very, very much interesting, calling on national government, calling on all of us what we should do. Let me take a quick break. I will be right back, and when I come back, we're going to do a little exercise of the orator speech here. But let's listen to let's see here. Okay. Let's listen to one of this ridiculous guy on this network. I try to put him in check in every day. Let's listen to it. The liberal progressive in some of his rare meat soundbite kitchen sink conversations right here on LPR. I will be right back.
Teacher, whatever but you give him statement to make publicly because he believe in you. We will deal with you one by one. I told you yesterday, I didn't come on this platform to see you myself make plow today. We're not even talking with color speak from each other. You myself make plow today with color speak from each other. But I come on the platform here, year or so. Be here, say President Waka be dancing for you to come and ruin people's life, for you to make Liberian people think, oh, but something do your lie. include me into your lying behavior. I don't lie.
That's the liberal progressive of West West, the liberal progressive. Samson Blocko Brown, based in Sacramento, California. They are the fixer. They always try to reconstruct something that needs not to be when the scientific evidence is there. They take it, they want to remove the real character from the saint and replace it with something that is unknown. But I always try to be here. But let's listen to the exception. I'm going to open this line here. Hopefully, you can make your call because it's all about liberty. This is not just only about us. Do not allow us to drive these narratives. You have the ability, you can do more than what we are doing. We just have maybe a little luxury of time to do this because of our passions and what we do it for. We sign up for it, so we have to do it. Well, let's listen to Professor Downs as he speaks to the nations yesterday, and let's see what you get from there. What will happen next after the speech? Let's listen to it.
When one enters a village, they should listen to the songs the children sing. For by listening to the songs the children sing, you will hear the good, the bad, and the ugly. Mr. President, your children are singing. And they're singing that corruption is still deeply embedded in our institutions. And it would take more than policy to uproot it. It would take more courage and political will from the highest office to the lowest. So the Honorable Speaker and the Honorable President Pro Tem and Her Honor, the fight against corruption is yours as well, and not just the President. The children are singing. Now they're saying, Mr. President, unemployment remains dangerously high. We cannot afford to let our people drift into despair, or worse, drift into the hands of those who could possibly exploit their frustration. The people are saying, and they're saying, economic inequity is widening. Too many of our people go to bed hungry, while a few grow rich by the minute. We must reimagine in Liberia, where opportunity is not reserved for the connected, but for those who are committed. But people are saying, and they're saying, that gender inequality continues to rob our nation of its full potential. Women still face systemic barriers, from unequal pay to unsafe public spaces. We must do more to protect them, empower them, and include them. The people are saying, and they're saying that while education has seen some improvement is not enough. We must push for transformation. The people are saying, Mr. President, like you who walk miles to go to school, children are still walking miles to go to school. They need transformation. The children are singing, and they're saying drug abuse is silently destroying the future of Liberia's youth. Relating to crime, unemployment, and hopelessness. We must act before it is too late. The drug situation in Liberia is more than just a health issue. Mr. President, it is now becoming a national security risk, and we must address it. Fellow citizens, these are not reasons for despair. They are reasons to act. Liberia cannot fulfill its promise until every citizen, from West Point to Stoneway, from Bunchima to Fortsville, has a fair chance to thrive, because the work of building Liberia is not limited to the executive mansion, but involves all of us. But before we wage toward nation building, let's talk about where we've been. Our faith, one people, one destiny, healing the past, building the future, invites us to take stock of the pathway where we have traveled. As we reflect on the past, we must acknowledge that for too long, wounds have been left untreated. The wounds of tribalism, the wounds of exclusion, the wounds of economic injustice and political and gender violence. We must dare to believe that tomorrow can and will be better by creating the space for reconciliation, dialogue, restorative justice, and for building bridges across our divides. The recent reburial of former President Samuel K. Doe and the memorial service for former President William R. Tolbert Jr. were bold action that signaled the President's commitment to begin a process that was waged and long. And again, on July the 5th, 2025, you, Mr. President, showed exemplary leadership when you offered for the first time in 45 years an apology to the Liberian people for the atrocities and injustices of past years. Mr. President, on behalf of the people of your republic, we accept your apology.
Okay, yeah, we have it. Let me bring in our analyst, Walton Carter, a senior analyst of the Liberia Public Radio, is based in the Constitution State of Connecticut. Formerly to, I believe, formerly, are you former Wiashin or you're 1-4 stay there, 1-4 out?
I'm independent.
You are independent now.
For the record, I'm independent.
Which record? We're gonna get it straight here.
That's straight.
Formerly at Wiashin, correct? Am I?
I am independent.
I plead the fifth. Okay, Walton Carter, good evening. Good to have you here. We're going to spend a little less time here this evening. Today is Sunday. I know everybody. How was the independence celebrations in your own state?
Connecticut, it was great. We had a soccer game. You know, it was beautiful. We didn't do the formal program or the usual program we usually undertake where we ran a hall and had a big in program. No, but we just went out, enjoyed ourselves, went to a place, had a big cookout, and everybody came out and they had a great time. It was a day to, celebrate. And so all the other, official thing we've been doing, the formal ceremony, we put it aside and just have fun. And it was beautiful. And I enjoy it because everywhere, even in Liberia, around the United States, Liberian came out in the numbers to celebrate the country for the first time. And then it tells me that we are coming to the place where we are trying to identify, because remember I told on the show, I said we are suffering from identity problems, and now we are trying to own up to be Liberian. Where even in America, people were singing Kolokwa. They were accepting our way of life, our culture, and that's what we want.
One good thing, if I could make an educated guess at your programs, I can't speak for that. I know what took place in my own Ocean State. There was no stereotype. There was no establishment of political identity. You were sedition. You were Unity Party. You were ANC. You were this, that. That was in there. Everybody seems to be uniform. Everybody seems to be in a spirit of national innocent towards the independence anniversary. Was that the case?
Was it? It was absolutely. People came from all over the state, and they celebrated regardless of your political affiliation or your political beliefs, regardless of religion, tribe. Everybody came. We were under one umbrella. That is the national emblem of our country. We celebrated with grand style, and it was phenomenal.
So now it has come and gone. What next? Will we go back into those wooden articles, wolf kind of clothing? We just do it ceremoniously, allow it, celebrate, drink, and people holding red cup, the popcorn with flowing, the roasted meat and everything in colorful red and white, which is okay. But what next after the 178th independence anniversary? But let's dive into the blistering, I could consider blistering speech, belong strictly to the point, spoke to all sectors in government, the executive, the judiciary, the legislature, and he was very crystal clear. He was very pragmatic in his presentation. I don't think he really was wondering, oh, if I don't after the speech, what are they going to call me back? But he saw what was happening in the country. He said the children are sinking. When people are sinking, you want to know some of the people who get an alto, the soprano, this whatever, all of the voices, because what the current choir directors want to do to spot of the potential singer, and those who need to be trained to train them. But he was communicating to not just only to the president, not just only to they have bulk of the issue because they are the policies and decision maker. But he was talking for us. Let me get your take first on this blistering. What I don't know what would be your own definition when it came to the orator here. But what you make of the speech?
I think his speech was broad-based. I think his speech touched our very fabric of our society, touched it. He spoke about even the opposition. He spoke about the government tolerant, the government allowing people the space to express themselves. And he talked about the connection between the opposition and the ruling establishment, how they should collaborate so they can have that fundamental, stage for our country. But the part of the speech that I really got connected to, and I pray that this government, and the question you asked about what next after the celebration, is the people were crying. The children were sinking. The children were sinking. They came on the street and sang different songs, whether it was alto, whether it was soprano, whether it was whatever tune it was singing in, but it was singing clear and the message was resonating. The message was sound, it was loud and clear. The message was about drug. You told us you're going to eradicate drugs. You told us that the past will have a lot of drugs, that somebody will bringing drugs in, and when you come, you will get it out. But the drug situation is even worse. You told us that the unemployment was
You are
high.
getting to be little. You are going to be more political to get to make a point here.
Exactly what his speech went. If you listen to it, he said the train was sinking. That unemployment was high before. Now unemployment is astronomical. And they was sinking. Listen to what he's saying.
Was this song? Let me ask you. Was this song? Can we try to do the reverse? This song was it going back to the past as well? Because there were a
No,
lot
no,
of songs in
we
the past.
cannot reverse when we have no power to reverse. We can only go forward. So the question of reverse should not be the topic.
No,
The question of
but it's all about his history is both
no,
of
no,
the
no.
past
You
and the
can
present.
retrospect. You can retrospect on history, but history at this point will not do the job for our country. We are talking about a people that are anxious and hungry for change, of people that are crying and sinking, that look, you promise you're going to do this, do it for us. And you ask the question, what next? We are waiting to see what the government will do next from the orator speech. What the government going to do next will determine the foul celebration, of our people, or it will determine the what's going to happen.
Let's welcome our own gospel singer, Fatu. Good evening, good to have you. Victoria, good to have you here. John, welcome. Josephine Sandet, Terry, good to have you as well as our analyst here. So, just to get it straight, this song is now referring to the past, yesterday, right? I'm not hearing you. Unmute yourself.
It cannot be the past because he spoke in the present. We have to forget about the past. We have to come to a place where we got to hold the present accountable to delivering the Liberian people. We cannot go back to the past because the past can do nothing for us. What happened already happened. We cannot go back.
Were we hurt from the past?
Well, it depends who is saying they hurt. Some say they were not hurt. Some say they were hurt. Who am I to say? No, I was thinking
what was your past look like, directly, indirectly?
Where I feel the past was going smooth, that's how I feel. Some other people felt it was going rocky. Some other people felt it was nothing. I felt the past was going smooth. Now, we are not talking about the past. The Liberian people decided that, look, the past was not good. So they brought somebody on, a change agent that will make the present beautiful. And now the orator that was selected by this change agent is coming back to remind the present that our people are sinking. The young people are sinking. The young people are sinking, reminding you that it is crucial of all of the things you said. We are seeing it negatively in the negative ditches. It's not improving in no way. And one of the things he said that caught my attention to was the beginning of reconciliation, when he laid the former leaders to rest and all that and apologized to Liberian people. I thought that was a brilliant part, and it was a plus because that way we can start, trying to reconcile. And I think the president should even do more by reaching out what past leader did in the society. That we had a little glitch just now. I don't know, it went off, came back. Yeah. So we yeah. So what past leader did.
Somebody text me and say you on Tabata now, so they're gonna hack your system. So
no, unfortunately,
Sarah sending him his emissaries now to hack your system. But there was something very cardinal. There were a lot of few things he said, in which he elevated, and which was doing to the president was, since 40 some more years, no one. And that was quite interesting. This shows that this orator, he just decided to dish all out. Like, I'm sick and tired of people coming and they're doing whatever they want to do. Because nobody, and he made that crystal clear, in 45 years. And that's what a good leader does, to come, whether it was at your fault or not, but when you become a leader, you become like a father of all. President Boyka was able to apologize to the Liberian people of the inflation, the pain, the sorrow, the sufferings as a result of the senseless civil war. That was huge. That was significant. As taught, the last two former leaders, they would have come to that thought to say, you know what, even though people accuse me directly or indirectly, but hey, for the sake of human being a normal human presence or whatever it is, I want to take responsibility. I want to apologize to the Liberian people because I am the father now, I am the mother. It didn't happen. Helen Johnson said, politically correct, I'm not George Weah. Joseph Boyka came and took that, and the orator acknowledged that.
So Joseph Boyka is the right person to even deliver that message. He's the right person. He served under Samuel Doe, that we experience all the chaos in our society. He served under Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, that also Liberian people allegedly said she brought the war on us, served as vice president. So who was the person to apologize? Let's face the reality. He's Joseph Boyka was the right person to apologize to the Liberian people for all the wrongs all the other president did to that country.
Kata. So, meaning he's a right messenger.
He is the messenger. Who else gonna do it? He served on a Summer Kayando administration. As a matter of fact, he was a major in the army, and then he also served on Ellen Johnson's salute that, according to the story, bro, sponsored the war, whatever way it is, allegedly, and he served under her as vice president for 12 years, and now.
George Weah was literally considered as a son to Samuel Doe. So whatever happens, all of it, leader is the dumb side. He or she takes everything responsible because a leader does have a lot of children. He has some children with khaki hair and do all sort of crazy things. He didn't do that. So do you think he should have done that in the past? Could that have made a difference?
Well, if he had done that, would have been good. But I think it would have been better from a person like Bwaka, who served Samadu administration as one of the key able lieutenant to the president Doe at the time, and also served as a deputy the former president as vice president under her, who they also accused of bringing the war.
Are you defending the past? Because while you are doing that, you are giving justifications of why apologies were. I'm taking it on a holistic approach.
No, I'm not giving an apology. I said it would have been good for him to do that. President Weah.
He didn't do it.
He didn't do that. He didn't do that. It would have been good.
Why?
I don't know.
Giving justification.
I'm not giving justification. I'm only saying it was.
Is it distasteful that he didn't do that?
Well, maybe he didn't think about it to do it. It was not his thought process at the time to do it. But he did other things that brought about reconciliation too. Don't forget. So sometimes we do things in speaking and we don't mean what we say, but we do things in action and we mean exactly what we say because we leave a mark. Now, let me tell you the mark President Weah left that spoke about all of the 40 some more years that the orator spoke about. He built a park and planted a monument that spoke about our existence as a people from 1847 to present, to the day that place was dedicated. It was speaking to all of the crises that existed in our country, and you understand, and the place that he planted the monument. Okay. It was significant because it was the place that 13 people were shot, innocent people were shot dead by the Summer Doe administration. So what he did today, any Liberian anywhere in the world can go and visit that area and say, yes, this symbolizes our past. It symbolized that we will never go back to where we came from. Joseph Boakai words could disappear now. It could disappear. I mean, the orator or his apology to Liberian people could disappear, but that statue or that site will remain for a very long time. A Liberian can see. So he played his part in his weak way. His part was to erect a monument that our people can go and have and enjoy the atmosphere in a place that was once dark. He brought light to that place. So each of the president did their best to elevate the conversation as far as asking for forgiveness from the Liberian people.
When we're having this national conversation, there's no way that we can avoid present, past, and all of that because there's some sort of correlation here. You, as a former supporter now, claim to be an independent, which is always good. I'm not sure how long this independent can last before 2029. Whether you're going to be a changed person, politicians, people always say, well, knowing what I know now, I can take it. But are you also concerned as a former supporter and as an independent, our leaders must first and foremost, present, past, must put the country first. Former president he has becoming habitual, he has becoming like a customary, not honoring some important events in the country. And we are hearing, we don't know yet, I've not spoken with anyone within the proximity of the former president that he will be contesting or whatever, but by virtue of his position as former president of the Republic of Liberia, when it comes to the national issue, don't you think that he must be in full attendance?
Yes, only if he's invited.
I think the chief from Foya is here this evening here. Let's see.
Only if he's invited, and if he was invited, I would say he should have gone to honor. I would say he should have gone to honor that.
If he what?
if he was invited. He's the former president, former immediate president. He cannot just go to that place and as an ordinary person, they have to, and Mr. Moses will even back me for that. They have if they
No, we
invited
are
and
not
he
in
didn't
court.
go,
Staff and
I mean,
state
if they,
witnesses, we are not in court.
so
Okay,
so so
Moses said, I don't even know what a question want to come for him.
here are
I
the
don't know
questions.
why you want to bring Moses in the thing that you want to back you. If Moses don't back you, and then you say, oh, you were this person here. So, what's
Mr.
Moses?
So
Happy Sunday. I'm hold on 1 second. Happy Sunday. This is the welcome statement for you. Wilton Ketana is putting you before the eyes of the camera and holding you as a state witness. Accept or denounce.
I plead the fifth.
Oh. so Keto, your witness not show or in court, so the judge gonna throw the case out. Okay.
but let me just explain what I'm trying to say, right? If an invitation was extended to the former president and he didn't attend, it was wrong on his part. But if they did not extend invitation to him, he was not to be there. Because now, if a former president goes over there, there's a place for him to sit if he was not invited. So all the seats were arranged for people that were invited. That place is a presidential area where people go to. So he have to go there by invitation. So if he was invited and he didn't go, that's wrong. But if you are not invited, so we have to find out whether he was invited, and I can tell you that sooner or later we're going to find out whether the president was invited to that program.
And that's I don't want to undercut your argument. This is why you politicians, this is why you're talking here very good. You're good at grabbing anything to avoid being drowned, which is also good here. Helen Johnson Saliba there, Joel Howard Taylor, the former vice president. Do you think if invitation was served to these people? And I understand your point. We hopefully want to do that, but I know I hope, and this is why it's good to have this sort of transparent thing here. I hope something will be on the executive mansion website here. But let me just insert Moses into this conversation. We really don't have much time here this evening because of, as we're still in the season here. Moses, does he have a point that former President Weah should be invited based on our limited information? We can't say for sure, confirm or not confirm that he was not invited. But does he have a point that a former president should be invited to attend?
Well, considering the tradition of our country, I don't think the former president needed invitation to it. Invitation, extended to him or not, if he had made the effort as former president to attend and they didn't have seat for him, then war on the present administration. But you have the ability, you as former president who represented the people, have gone to many places, I believe, without invitation, and you have shown up. And I think it's custom that the former president, something like celebrating the nation, that should have been his responsibility to show up no matter what. Invited or not invited, he should have shown up. And let them say, we don't have a seat for you. And then we would know what the present administration is doing. But if all former leaderships were there, and I don't know if he took it as his big rivalry or adversary, he should have shown up. Everybody else was there except for him. And there are a lot of questions being asked today. Where was the former president, especially the immediate former president?
Okay, so now, quickly here. Mr. Keto, are you still willing to have this guy as a state witness?
Well, unfortunately, I can't because he just went through the window. I mean, he went through the window with he accelerated with full speed, and I can't. There's no way I can even bring it close to
You can't
being
stop it.
a witness.
Also, you throw a knee out now, he not winning again.
And I'm a little bit surprised. That the security analyst would tell me where you will have dignitaries that invitation was extended. Where's protocol? Protocol. I'm talking about protocol was considered. There should be no invitation for the immediate former president. He should just walk in and it will automatically be accessible to him.
All
That's
right.
not true.
Let me
That's
say,
not true. Call anybody close to
We're
any.
not protecting
Yeah.
anybody. Let's look at the logic of this.
Mm-hmm.
Who protecting the former president?
He got bodyguard, EPS bodyguard.
Okay. Who pays EPS for protecting the former president?
The EPS bodyguard, I mean, the government paid them.
Okay. So, don't you know that the EPS that I assigned, say for instance, the Secret Service that I assigned to Barack Obama, when he made the move, don't you know that the head office is aware of their operations?
No, but the thing is,
No.
even if yes, the head office know where the former all PIP know. Yes.
Hold on 1 second. That was a hypothetical question. It doesn't require an answer. And the reason why I made that point, because you brought about security. Security communicates on a daily basis for former president and president in the House, serving at this time. So every move that the former president makes has to go through that with the I believe will be reported to the to the EPS headquarters, because they need to know what their workers are, so that
He said that point again. Former president should do what?
So they can know. Listen. If something goes down,
yeah,
and they need people to respond there, they need to know. So at some point in time, I'm just telling you that for security reasons, the EPS for and the EPS for His Excellency Buck at some point communicates on a daily basis of the operations.
All right, guys.
There's a need to do that.
We're going to have a lengthy conversation on this.
Because he's
come back. We're going to come back, and this is. I mean, he has his valid point, because we are polarized, politically divided country. So now this is why exchange. This is why communication is very, very vital. Very important. I'm hoping to see that at some point in time, the Ministry of Information or the presidential secretary, that they will also address it here, because other than that, it just leaves us here. But let's come strictly here, because we really don't have time here this evening. 10 together, sharp 10 o'clock, not 10, sharp 9, 10 latest. But the orator, what was my note here? My brain fly away here. There were a couple of things. He was very illustrative in his argument. Things he repeated twice: corruption, which is alarming. Transformation, people don't like to have any change system. Drugs abuse, blah, 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 blah. Moses, let me come to you. Now, this orator, his job, and I like how he put it, he didn't just throw it only at the executive, the legislature, the judiciary, everybody have a shared responsibility. Have we not heard these rhythm, these songs before? Now, the children singing, ma then was singing, pa then, grandchildren, everybody be singing. Is there a new song here? Who want to listen to this song here to kind of make it out of a real music for us to play? Will we see a difference after this event from the executive side?
The only thing I can say on you is that I was alone. I should know. I did not really pay attention to the entire oration and orator make his presentation, but I know that there were a lot of qualms about controversy about the last orator, who happens to be Miss Paley, Raptor Paley, of how she destroyed or attempted to not recognize the U.S. for the relationship, the lasting relationship they've had with the people of Liberia, with the country of Liberia. Having said that, I would say in many of these speeches, people kind of re-echo some of the things that have been going on, positive or negative. And I think if he mentioned about the drug abuse and all of that in the country, I hope that will resonate with the administration to kind of rethink or reinforce its effort to address some of those issues. Because I'm sure the orator must have done some research when he was deciding what to speak about or maybe that was the theme of this celebration, yesterday.
Usually, the government gives the outlines.
Yeah, give the theme.
The
So
theme for the yeah.
if the administration give him the theme on looking at addressing the issue of drug abuse and all of that, then I think it was an adequate speech. And if they decided they were going to do that, they must have already thought about the way forward. And they wanted somebody from the outside, other than the administration, to give this alteration or this narrative, and so they can kick it up. But remember now, the beginning of the week, I think the president had made an announcement of $88 million funding that was allocated for primary education and looking at training for teachers and all that stuff. So some of these things are all geared towards educating the minds of the people and getting some of those people out of poverty and the drug abuse. I'm sure some of that money, if you're going to get their schools, it has to be directed to
okay. So
thinking.
So Kato, let me bring you in here. There were a lot of controversy, like Moses alluded in the last orator. And in most cases, 99% of the time when it comes to this thing here, government has to write, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, information, other relevant agencies coordinate. They give you the outline, they give you the thing, and to some extent will preview your speech. They're not just going to throw you out there because they don't know what you're going to say. Our understanding, I don't know how true it is, last speaker refused, and we saw how things went around. But that speaker to you was very blunt. There were a lot of things that he said, which of course he's taking some slap now from other inside or from the Unity Party that he was just too here. Do you think GOL granted him the permission to go ahead to put these things out?
Yeah, so let me just piggyback on something that will bring in the same speech, the orator speech. You remember a week ago, Americana, a few days ago, Americana came out with stayed on OKFM talking about the way the government was proceeding, that the bread and butter issue was not resolved in the country, the extreme rate was high, and he was cautioning people how they were looking down on protesters and saying all kinds of things in government. And he explained a whole lot. The Unity Party surrogate jump on him and start to castigate him. So I'm not surprised if Unity Party surrogate would jump on this orator because he was speaking the truth. Now, we all talk about it on so many shows, and on this show, the bread and butter issue in the society is deplorable. The security situation in the society is deplorable. We're talking about health, deplorable. We're talking about education, deplorable. So there are so many things, the rule of law, deplorable. So this orator was not saying something that is abstract. He was not saying something that is fabricated or falsehood. He was speaking the reality, what he was saying to the president. Maybe your able lieutenants are not telling you because maybe you don't see around you. Like Mr. The laborer would say, maybe the president gets up in the morning and he sits behind a little dark glass in his car and zoom boom from his house to the executive mansion and the same thing back. So nobody giving information or he's not seeing what the people are going through in the country. So the orator was speaking directly to the president and said, Mr. President, the young people are crying. They are singing songs. They are telling you that the drugs are killing them. And if you're not careful, it's not only that it will destroy the young people, but it got security implication. Isn't that true? If the drug laws find out that Liberia is a big place for drug, we could have something like in what a country in Mexico, where you got drug cartel killing people because of drug. Who knows? That's what he was saying. If we end up, the security risk is high. So he was saying the children are sinking, and the songs they are singing, they are feeling the pinch. They are telling you, wake up, double up, do something. You are making some positive airway, but it's slow, but it's not enough. And that's the same thing Americana said, and the surrogate of Unity Party jump on him. So I won't be surprised if they start to attack this orator, but I believe in the wisdom of Joseph Boakai He will listening to what his orator said, and he will try to change or to course correct. If not, well, we are heading somewhere bad.
Okay, quickly, Moses, meaning you want to chime in now? I want to go to the next
Yes.
thing before we can wrap up.
Yes, please. I hear my brother talking about the deplorable conditions of all these things. Let's remember that this administration inherited all of these things you call deplorable. And I'm not going to say that it's, that is all of these things happened during the WIAS administration. What I can tell you is the facts show that in 2011, under Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration, and Joseph Boakai serving as vice president, Liberia became, according to the Interpol, the International Interpol, through the DEA here, the FBI here, everybody alluded to it, Liberia had become, in 2011, a haven for drug trafficking. And it was reported, if you research that on Google, you will see that, 2011. And I took a trip down in 2013 and did some assessment and found out that, yes, drug use were very prevalent, and the trafficking of drugs was highly prevalent in Liberia. So when you talk about the deplorable condition of drugs in our country, in the country Liberia, it's not something that just came under this administration. And it's ironic that this morning, I think it was in River G or Grangida, that the police were going to destroy some drugs right after the arrest, right after July 26th, when we saw the narrative or the orator's speech centered around drug use also. That all the way in either River G or Grangida, there's a video. I think I sent it to the chat room, that the DEA personnel and the police, the law enforcement, the joint security were going to, they had gone there to demonstrate to the people that all the drugs that were caught, that had been seized, were going to be burned.
Quickly here. Yeah, quickly here, let's hit the last two buttons before we go. We're going to have a lot to discuss during the course of the week here. The orator was very blunt. Fire them, do not suspend them. I wish he had added another layer to it, fire, prosecute. But he left that one there for the president. Let me come to you, Keto. Will the president continue? Will the president will continue to suspend? Suspend what next? Will he fire?
So,
that is kind of version of firing.
So I will go back again to Americana, because Americana reveals something that we don't know of, right? So the Americana, they had gone through a lot of the auditing process, the audits that was sent to the legislature, and they did all the investigation.
And just so these are all corruptions, alleged corruptions with LACC, some concluded, some not concluded, that is, but for whatever reason, we just don't know how high it looks like. Go ahead.
So he said that, according to what Americana said, that they recommended to the president after they finished doing all the things. I think they did all the work, and they recommended to the president that some of these people who are caught in corruption should restitute, and some should be prosecuted. Some prosecuted, some restitute. And I think they will send the document over to the executive probably next week, or when they come back to section. Now, the president has been cherry picking who he wants.
I have 5 minutes, actually 5 minutes to go tonight. It's not one of these normal Sunday night show. And then walk about cannot see their mouth anyway, okay? So if you're still chilling with your independent, that's okay, because Clarence is here blowing, getting his bullhorn, rescue 1, rescue 2. I don't understand. Is Dayo what? Dayo on a cheering squad guy? No, what? Because by the time he treated rescue 2, rescue 1 car, you surface. Anyway, go ahead with Captain.
Yeah, so as I was saying, right? He laid the facts out, and the question is the president going to listen to the legislator to prosecute and let people restitute? But it brings me back to President Weah when he did the arrest to do. They had the same a thing that these guys doing now. What do people need? The access recovery team.
That's a recovery.
They went on and they said they were going to allow people to restitute because to put people through the court process, it was going to cost the government more money. So I don't know whether the president, even though I've seen him suspending people, whether they're going to be prosecuted or whether they're going to pay back. I mean, it's up to the president to decide how you going to do it. But I think he's cherry picking because even within the Unity Party, his present government, there are people who are corrupt, and he better pat them on the back and let them go. And I was surprised. I was surprised too that what Amara Connor said, that according to him, people that were from the LTA that they accused of corruption, that they let go of the position. The government, I agreed to even pay them off and told them to go. They paid them off. It was not because of corruption to bring their people on, but when they let the people go, they refused to pay the people.
All right,
he said it was bad.
Let me bring you here. I'm sorry tonight. I think we're gonna just leave it halfway here this evening here because of time. Let me bring in Terry here quickly. Terry, I guess you've been listening here, but you listening to your last comment. But one of the things that I was really surprised by the action by the president to suggest that the vice president to look into what's happening in the war in the Mikey process. Where is the Minister of Commerce? I don't understand that, but I go ahead. But we're going to have more of this conversation during the course of the week. Terry.
Good evening and good afternoon or good morning to those watching. And Mr. Sigbe, Keto, and to you, the examiner. Even though the labor is not here, but it's okay, But however, but the thing is that, Mr. So, the orator went beyond his bound, and he actually did well. He made me shame because I did not think he was going to go in the direction that I predicted, which direction was reconciliation, one nation, and all that, because that was what I expected of the orator. And the only glitches happens to be that the orator, whether if when it comes to being the right person, when it comes to talking about the changing of the motto, because I think the orator is of an African American descent, and so much so that leadership, there were no recommendation for that. So I thought that should have come from an indigenous, but coming from an African American descent is not bad. It's good too. It's a perspective. But I had a problem when he said some other things that, he went for the president directly, and he said that, the president second term is not promised. I thought that was the one that made Keto happy. Your second term is not promised, so do what you can do now. And telling the president to fire instead of suspend. That could have been his opinion on the matter, but I think every leader have control over what the leadership style is like. The president leadership style is to suspend, and that he have been doing effectively. He have been proving some great thing, because suspension doesn't mean fire. Suspension leaves room for the person to come back if the president see the need. Like the election commission, the president suspended her and she returned. Most of the people the president is suspending is on the basis of allegations. If the president is not just suspending people because they stole, the president suspend you on the basis of allegation pending investigation, which that is what a leader is supposed to do. So I thought he overreached in some of his statements when he was giving the speech. There were many areas he overreached, on his recommendation. He was extreme, and I thought that was some of the glitches. But overall, he presented as expected, and all of that, but he overreached in many areas of the speeches.
Like I said, we really going to push our pants on this conversation here tonight. We're going to have more of it. A lot still going to be unfolding during the week on this here, but we just can't, after such a big day, to leave our audience all like that without having a conversation. So I'm going to be coming to you guys for your closing, and we're going to pick it up for the rest of the week. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
And the reason being that Keta has said something, and I'm not sure since when America in a stint to be speaking on issues concerning the Republic of Liberia. I watched some of the sections, and I got yet to see American being effective as a senator. I see him exercising every day and doing a lot of stuff. So if Keta is going to take everything that American says as his Bible, then we got something coming for your own thing. I will speak directly to that. He made references to what Amra said, like Amra is a god. Let me say something to us, Terry, when he talked about the presentation. I have not listened to the orator.
Let's do it in a minute. I gotta go.
2 minutes, sir. What I can tell you is that once they gave an orator the team, and if they pick the orator has the right to speak on facts, on issues, whether it's in favor of the sitting administration or not. That's why the administration has to be careful. And if they don't want to hear anything against them, then they should pick orator who will be on their side. I'm just speaking from that point. There are a couple of things I want to say. There's one thing I want to say. I beg you. I think in the United States, I've been here for a long time. I think we did something, the Liberian people in the United States, I want to say bravo, especially to the communities, for the celebration. Since the 80s, when we used to celebrate July 26th, this is the first time I've seen quite a bit of, collaboration and huge celebration in a long time for July 6th. And I want to say bravo to all of the states, all of the community. Philadelphia, Minnesota was crazy, Atlanta, Georgia, Rhode Island. I mean, you name it. I think.
Let's leave it at let's hear.
So
thank you.
We can. I would.
We will have more on that. Keta, let's hear you quickly.
Thank you. So I think you will agree with me now, Mr. So, that the Unity Party people got no thick skin. They do not appreciate constructive criticism. They are so defensive. We see the security analyst who is asking and questioning Amara Conant, legitimate
the party.
You questioning, I said the security analyst, I'm not saying Unity Partisan, I said the security analyst is questioning Amara Conant now, sincere statement. Terry is also questioning the orator. And as a matter of fact, whether he's a Congo man or American Liberian descent, he is a Liberian. The fact that he was speaking and what he was speaking about is the reality. Is it not true that drug is prevalent in our society? Is it not true that people go to bed hungry? Is it not true that unemployment is at the high, at the rate? Is it not true that the interest rate is high or the US dollar is high in the country? Is it not true that the security of our country is still fragile? Is it not true that the education system is still bad? He didn't speak something decent. He was speaking the truth. He was only telling Mr. Bwaka, double it up.
Thank you so much, Keto. All right, Terry, let's get your final word quickly before I go.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. So, look, Keto, I'm not saying that the man did not do well. I'm saying he overreached in some of his position. That means he went above, his perimeters, which he have the right to do because he's the auditor, but he went above the guidelines and the perimeters for an oration, in regards to that kind of terrain, which of course, and by the way, I know Emmett Dunn very, very well. If Emmett Dunn even know my play name,
I can't believe the CEO highlight that kind of stuff.
Emmett Dunn, and I've been knowing him for decades. So I know him, as I'm saying. But however, that is not in the equation. But there are other things we'll be discussing during the week, and I will show you some of the areas where I believe that he went over his, he overreached, and I will highlight them to you as we go on. But thank you for the show. Sorry for coming late.
Yeah, today is unfortunately we're going to leave it like it is because sometimes you see that a lot is playing out here, but we are obligated to squeeze in time, be a 30-minute, 1 hour to our audience because they did it. I think we'll have a lot to discuss in the post speech. While we're waiting to see them, the orator has delivered a message. Whether that message will be perfected, whether it will be acted upon, stop suspending, fire, not just only fire, prosecute. And we're going to be discussing, I don't know why the president doesn't. I agree with what Lpr-Tv is doing because there are two things happening in the country, and this is bad. You cannot be a retailer and you cannot be, how you call it, something at the same time. Yeah. And that's the problem. That's where the artificial creations of price hikes and all of these things coming from.
Right.
But I think this responsibility from my side should have been given to the Ministry of Commerce. So why the vice president or you found a special select committee, independent committee, if you can't use the ministry, why use your deputy? So we're gonna, but that's another thing we're gonna discuss. Guys, thank you so much. And hope all of you had a good time.
You don't want to repeat the mistake of the past.
Bye bye. Yeah, we're
not parking our vice president in the garage.
You're good, man. And this is
it happened. I think it was the anniversary, right?
Yes,
thank you, my fellow Liberians.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, my fellow Liberians.
That's our only little year of the 178 independence anniversary. We're going to play this in full context in our subsequent broadcast. Until then, have a positive blessing. Bye-bye.
The guest speaker has already touched upon